just acknowledge in the room we have representatives from York Region Police here as well. Appreciate you folks coming south of Steeles to join us here and for your support in the development of this Toronto Police Service social media launch, but really it's a launch in Ontario for police services right across the province. I want to also welcome the mainstream media. We have representatives from the ethnic media, social media, community media, and our community who have just out of interest and because of the notification that went out have arrived here at this policing college. It's an exciting day for us. This is sort of our big toe in the big sea of social media. We've been operating in this field for about 2 years now through some of our more intrepid and innovative police officers, some of who are in the room here, Sergeant Tim Burrows, PC Scott Mills, who many of you will have recognized from their online activity. And this is a real bottom-up process for the Toronto Police Service. It's our frontline officers and our experts in IT and other parts of the organization that alerted the chief and myself and other command officers to the growing nature of social media, its impact on society broadly, and its potential impact on the world of policing and law enforcement. Through many conversations with people like Scott and Tim, through many online conversations with people in the social media field, some of whom are here. Digital LaFlemme joining us here as well. Thank you very much. Online, some of our folks who are following us. We've got to a better sense of how we can use social media to improve public safety, public service, and public trust. It's a moderate launch. We've slightly redesigned our website to make it more social media friendly. There's a new updated look and feel to it. All of this updating was done by our own service members, our civilians and officers who had an interest in this project, came together and came up with some ideas to support our Webmaster. The enhanced social media components include our Twitter feed, our Facebook feed, and our YouTube feed. We're also able now to provide some online services that previously weren't available. You can do some online reporting of minor offenses right through our website. You can do all of your background and vulnerable sector checks online, as well as your bicycle registrations and other services that were already in place. You're also going to be seeing a lot more tweeting and posting from Toronto Police Service members. We graduated our very first class of social media users here. Officers and civilians from across the service who were in this classroom here with me got 3 days of training. They're able to get a better understanding of what social media is, how to effectively use it in their own lives, how to effectively use it in their professional lives. They've signed on to their new accounts. They have been given both safety and governance procedures in order to make sure that they do it safely and within the rules of policing, and have started to use the tools themselves. Many of them have put their first tweets and posts out live, and it's an exciting time for them. We have officers from our TAVIS Rapid Response, our Employment Unit, our Divisional Policing Command, our Corporate Communications, right across the service. And we've got senior members in the room as well as junior members who've been on for a couple of years. So we're quite excited about this. There's lots more to share with you. And again, I want to thank the members of the media who've come here today to cover this. We know it's a busy day in the city. We appreciate your time and effort. I want to thank the online presence that we have through the Ustream Live and through those following us on Twitter and Facebook. And I also want to thank the members of the community who've made themselves available to come here today. At this point, I'll just pause. We have both questions coming in online as well as people in the room here who may want to ask some questions of myself or the other folks from the service who are here today.
What's the most significant change in this new website?
In the website, what you're going to see in the top, I guess it's my top left corner, the Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube service accounts. Just below them, they're broken out into the individual social media platforms. If anyone was to visit our website, instead of having to go through 4 or 5 different portals, they can find all our information readily available. If you want to see what the 30 tweeting Toronto police officers are doing, you can go right to our Twitter feed and click on there. If you want to see what our Facebook posts are from the 17 divisions and the many other units, you can go right there and drill in. We have a drop-down search button on the top of the website that allows for much quicker and easier access. And as well, you have the availability of our new online reporting systems that are there as well.
Thank you, Chief.
Deputy, from the Twitter stream, we've got a question, which was, what has been the biggest hurdle thus far with relation to this new direction?
Great question. And if I'm being completely honest, which is really what this is all about, a more honest, open, accessible police service, the biggest change for us is our culture. We're not used to this type of decentralized, high-speed, highly interactive information sharing environment. Traditionally, the policing is a very hierarchical, paramilitary culture. We don't give our frontline people a lot of opportunity to speak on behalf of our organization. Well, this is changing all of that. And because of that radical change, it made people like me very nervous. When Tim Burrows, who just gave me that question, and Scott Mills said, look, this is the way we need to go, I have to tell you, I was very nervous as a police commander. I didn't think it was the right thing to do. I had no idea what the medium was all about, and it took a lot of convincing. But quite frankly, once the lights went on in my head, the lights went on right across the police service. And what I love about this approach is it's really a bottom-up approach. It's our frontline people, the people who are responsible for public safety and interacting with the public, who are telling us that this is the way that we need to go. We hired 1,600 new police officers over the last 6 years. Most of them grew up in the digital age. Most of them are far more tech savvy than any of the officers who we have in this room, and they're going to take us to the next level on this medium. It doesn't mean that we move away from our commitment to mainstream media. It doesn't mean that we move away from our commitment to community media and ethnic media. It means that we expand our horizons and bring more people into the house to deal directly with their local police.
Deputy, you've been on Twitter for almost, I think, more than a year now. In your personal experience, what are the benefits of having such a large social media presence?
Great question. Thank you very much. What are the benefits of being online? I signed up to my first Twitter account and Facebook account last April at a conference called Smile Conference, hosted by Lauri Stevens down in Washington, D.C. I have to tell you, the first time I put fingers to a keyboard and sent out my first tweet, I held my breath because I thought this could be the end of my career. And there were a couple of times when I sent out a message that wasn't well crafted and wasn't well understood and wasn't well received. And it almost turned me off, but I kept at it. It has really expanded my connection to my community here in the city. Across the GTA, I think most of you will be aware that Toronto and the GTA region are the highest users of social media in the world. And so it means a single cop sitting in his office, by regular use of his Twitter account and Facebook account, now could reach out to thousands and hundreds of thousands in the GTA and across the province. It's also increased my reach globally. A lot of the issues that I've been involved with is United Nations peacekeeping, international development work. I have contacts from around the world. I reconnected with Digital Laflemme, who was a grade school student of mine, or a classmate of mine back in the day at Blessed Margaret Bourgeois in Scarborough. We reconnected through my opening of an account in social media. And so it's really created a lot of opportunities for me professionally, obviously some opportunities personally in terms of connecting on a broader level, but this has expanded the reach of the Toronto Police Service broadly and very specifically into communities that didn't trust us and wouldn't communicate with us in the ways that we were traditionally doing it.
Got another question off Twitter from a participant in the live stream. How does the Toronto Police Service plan to handle cyberbullies in this day and age?
Well, I probably should turn that question over to one of our best cyberbullying experts, Scott Mills. I will just give it a bit of a preview to say that cyberbullying, cyber crimes, because of the digital age, it's a growing type of public safety issue that policing in Toronto and right across the world is having to deal with. The mere fact that we've entered this from a corporate strategy standpoint means that we'll be able to bring more resources to support parents and kids in schools who are the victims of that type of offense or who may be unwittingly participating in it. As you can see, by putting officers like Scott Mills onto a social media platform, exponentially reaches that public safety message out to the people who are using those platforms and in some cases being victimized on those platforms. It gets us a better chance for public safety, public service, public trust.
How does it work if I'm a resident of Toronto and you want to reach to me? Do I have to befriend you on Facebook or on Twitter? How does it work if I don't go to see your website?
Well, I mean, first of all, we encourage people to visit our website, and in visiting it, explore our different social media platforms. If you want to choose to follow us or friend us, put us onto your RSS feeds. That's a great way to keep up with information generally, and you can also deal with your specific topics. We'll also be reaching out. We have school resource officers who will be taught and trained on the social media platform. Officers like Scott Mills and Tim Burrows who've already created their own followers in terms of traffic safety for Tim and youth outreach in terms of Scott. And we're going to have officers right across the service, just from the 20-odd officers and civilian members that we have in there, who will be reaching out in their own spheres of influence, in their own areas of expertise, who will be contacting you and letting you know about what we have available specifically in relation to their jobs and more generally what the service is doing. Thanks for the question.
Going back to the social stream, Deputy, what would you say has been your biggest wow moment where you've been impressed with the technology?
Wow.
That's exactly it.
You know, on the negative side, let me start with the negative side. I think I think we saw the power of the medium in terms of public trust very much squarely out of the impact of the G20 here in Toronto. It demonstrated to us how this medium will also improve public safety, public service, and public trust. And it made me aware acutely of the need for us to be communicating on all the channels in all the best ways that we can. On a positive side, I have to say today, looking out across this audience, 3 days ago, every one of the members in this room, myself included, when we started this training course, still had a high level of cynicism, suspicion, and a deal of fear about entering into this world officially. In 3 short days, because of the expert facilitation that took place here, because of the time we took to explain it to people, to test the tools, I think the vast majority of the folks in this room have really understood the power and the potential of social media. And the mere fact that today, on a busy day down at City Hall, on a busy international day with what's happening south of the border, over in Norway, we have this many members of the mainstream media, community media, ethnic media, and social media present to watch this launch indicates the great potential of this for public safety, public service, public trust.